Milk Solo TV. What is that, Ross?
It's a flyover for Joey's show.
Oh, like the flyover they did for the Railroaders and Washington County game last year. Remember that? The Jets that flew over the game. You didn't hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
You heard it? Yeah, I heard it too. It was pretty loud. If you're not watching, share. Hey, it's Chris Boone. I wonder what he wants. Share to county, share to Blunt Talk. I'm giving you the breakfast cue on air. Let's see what Chris Boone wants. I don't know. What do you think he wants, Ross? It's a lot of vibrations. Good grief. Don't fall over. There we go.
What's going on?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good, man. Good.
Good. Same.
Good.
What do you?
Hell yeah.
Let's first start talking about this past weekend real quick. Starting out with, Chris, the 9 a.m. game, that was Brunswick against Broad Axe, a 14-12 Broad Axe victory. Chris, this was a very close one, the closest that Brunswick has ever been to beating Broad Axe. I mean, you look over the series and history of this game, it's never been close. But this time, Broad Axe almost blew it.
I thought they was gonna blow it. I thought Broad Axe would win, but at least by a touchdown.
Yeah, you would think more.
Maybe 10 points. Yeah, maybe 10. Well, Brunswick, they're big and strong. So Broad Axe, they like to power run. So if you could stop that run, it's seen that they really don't put up many points when you stop that running game. If you stop everybody inside the hash marks, tight end, running back, and the QB running the ball, it's tough sledding for Broad Axe.
It really is, and that's something that Broad Axe has been struggling with for most of the season, is that offense on terms of running when you shut it down. We saw it against Ruckus last week. A few weeks ago, Ruckus managed to shut it down with no problem, and that's a defense that, as we'll see later tonight, doesn't rank very well in terms of scoring defense.
Yeah, well, Ruckus has players. Their scheme sometimes messes them up. But I mean, the Ruckus has players. They have a couple guys on that D line that go hard every play. I was surprised Ruckus stopped them.
Yeah,
really,
But were you surprised by the performance by Railroaders?
Man, I was. Like I said, I thought it'd be a 10-point game. I knew Railroaders would play it close because of game management. What Railroaders have done, they've actually shortened the games. So there's no more days of scoring 30, 34, 40 points on them like most teams used to do.
Yeah, those days are definitely long over. You're not going to see.
Because
remember, it was 58-0 last spring when they played each other.
Wow.
I remember because Brunswick warmed up for an hour before that game. And Broad Axe literally rolled up 5 minutes before kickoff, put on their cleats, and beat them by 58 like it was nothing.
And just beat them.
It was insane. Never seen anything like it in my life.
Right. Well, they've been playing that tackle football, so, we always one thing about ADR is we always try to tell everybody in these leagues, play different styles. You'll meet people. You'll add people, and they started playing tackle football, and they've met some guys. So they got some guys coming out to rock with them now.
Yeah.
They run the ball, and run the ball, and it just kills the game clock. Just shortens the game. So now, normally you're getting 10 possessions a game on them. Now you're getting maybe 3 each half.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hard to put up a lot of points on them. They're actually playing good clock management right now.
They are. I will give them props for that. They know how to manage the clock and shorten the game. Mm-hmm. They know how to play defense.
Yep.
And I feel like their quarterback play right now is the best that it's been.
Yeah. Yep.
But their decision making in this game is what really hurt them at times. And a
And
couple of those were by key players.
yes, yep,
We go back to not going for a field goal earlier in the game when they were at the 10-yard
yeah.
line.
Oh yeah, true. That was that was in the first half though, right?
I want to say that was about the third quarter.
The third quarter? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was right before half or yeah. I mean, they lose by what, 2 points?
Yeah, 2 points in
And
the
and you
end.
could have and you could have had a field goal.
And they made one a week ago against ADR. That was from 37.
37. Yeah. I
That,
mean, let's go over their last two possessions of the game. Right? So they have the ball at the 22-yard line. It is 4th and 2.
yes.
And like you said, they made a 37-yard field goal the week before. So if you're at the 22, what would that be? You know, that's roughly a 38-yard field goal, right? 38. It's right in that range.
Yeah.
And you don't even attempt it. So that was shocking to me on the sideline watching that game, knowing that they just made one and now you have a chance to beat Broad Axe. They had a chance to knock off two of the top teams in this league for the last couple of years. And they didn't even do it. They went for it and got stopped.
And what's crazy is going back to ADR, that was about a week later. They played ADR and lost 60-6 after losing 58-0 to Broad Axe.
Yeah, right. So times have changed.
Times have definitely
like I said,
changed.
yeah.
And we'll
So
talk on this Brunswick team a little later on. But first, we'll move on to the next game. Actually, yeah, the next game. X-Dogs 24, Program 14. This game was not as close as the final score would say. The Dogs dominated this one,
no.
24-0 by the fourth quarter. Program put together two late scores, but that was not as close as the final score would imply. This game was one-sided from start to finish. The Dogs dominated the trenches. Program tried all this different stuff that just didn't work. They ran three quarterbacks in that game. Gary
You
Little,
can't get
Ricky
nothing
Miller,
going
and Ant
doing
Smith
that.
all played quarterback.
Yeah, you can't get nothing going doing something like that. So that just lets me know that Ricky's not in control of that huddle. I mean, he's not in control of the huddle. If you got three different guys playing quarterback, that means everybody's in the huddle talking, let me do this, let me do that, and you're not going to win games like that.
Most definitely not. And that is really what hurt them in that game on Saturday was their inability to get an offense going. And that really hurt them in that game. They just could not get it going. They were losing in the trenches. Ricky wasn't effective. Ant wasn't really effective. Gary wasn't effective at quarterback. It just wasn't working. They got two late scores, but you know,
they got two late scores.
Off.
Right. I mean, they got two late scores. Ricky was running around late, but at that time, Brady and I believe Chili was on the sideline.
Yeah, they were both gone.
So, you know, that changes stuff. I mean, but program's getting better each week. I mean, they just ran into, you know, right now X-Dogs are the top dogs. So you just ran into a tough team. Their program looks like they're getting more and more people each week, it looks like. Their numbers have gone up every week.
The numbers may be going up, but the results haven't really been there, and the number they need to avoid now is another loss. They're on the verge of elimination.
Yeah, another loss put that automatically in the B bracket, right?
Yes.
Or are they already there?
One more will put them in the B bracket.
One more put them in the B bracket, yep. So
I've been trying to get it to adjust to stand up, hasn't it? It's not. Okay. All right, holding it like this for the moment. But no, 24-14 was the final there. That game was not close at all.
it wasn't close.
Final game of the day. That was 41-0 ADR on that night's game. You played in, Chris Boone, making your return at quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If, you know, I know we only played the Red Knights, but it felt good to be back out. I did play in the Ruckus game, and then we was off for a couple weeks, and then just played against the Red Knights. I think we only had like 11 or 12, but shit, I think they only had 10. So
They did not. Yeah, they only had 10 guys. It was probably the lowest turnout I've seen from a Red Knights team ever.
yeah, it didn't, and they didn't look good out there.
No.
I mean,
It was 21-0 by the end of the first quarter.
right, yeah, and we only played through part of the third quarter too. So
Game was called off, 41-0.
yeah, yeah,
There's not much to really write home about except for ADR dominant, Red Knights just down.
yeah. And we wasn't that good either. I mean, realistically, we wasn't that good. I mean, shit, I missed CJ on a bunch of passes. We got new rotating guys every week too. So, it's a challenge for us just to get something going each week our damn selves.
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody's short bodies right now. It seems like a lot of teams are having that issue right now. A lot of kids are in sports and stuff like that. When you're playing midday on Saturdays, if you got family stuff going on and kids in sports and activities and shit, so it's that time of year. People are going to miss a lot of games regardless, and that's every team throughout the league pretty much.
Oh, yeah. Saturday in the fall is a busy, busy time.
Yeah.
As we move along to our power rankings real quickly, Chris, you and I actually agreed on everything this week.
Yeah, we did. The rankings were the same. We got the same idea, same thought.
Starting out with number 9, Red Knights. All they need, 0-6, however. Eliminated from A bracket contention. They're well into B at this point. And, I mean, it's just been a rough season. The attendance has not been going well.
Yeah, the attendance is bad for the Red Knights right now. I mean, the shitty thing is that they could actually come out and play really good in the B bracket playoffs, because I know they had some guys. I've seen a lot of different guys on the roster, so it feels like they would have about 18, 19 people if everybody showed up at once. So,
yeah.
They could surprise us, but right now they're definitely the bottom of the league.
Yeah, and I feel like that's somewhere where they're going to be sitting at for a bit because
you
look at how the other teams have grown around them.
Yeah.
The Spartans are well-rounded in terms of numbers. They always dress regularly 20 guys a week. They always come out to play no matter what the result is. The Railroaders have turned it around to have a much better franchise.
Yeah.
The program right now sitting on the verge of B. They're well-rounded, more so than the Knights are. Number 9 spot for them. I just can't see them moving up, though, unless they can score at some point next 2 weeks.
I mean, I don't even know what they got left, but I believe they've already played the Spartans. Did they play program yet? I mean, who's near the bottom of the power rankings? Spartans and
program.
So
and Brunswick.
Have they already played both?
They have, in terms of teams they have played the Spartans, but they have yet to play Brunswick and program. So we'll see how good they are going to the B bracket these next couple of weeks.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. We'll see their fate in the B bracket. See how close they can play those two teams, because it seems like those are the teams that they're going to match up with.
Yeah. And depending on how they play them in the regular season, it's going to really determine their fate in the upcoming playoffs.
Yep. Be seeding.
Oh, yeah. Number 8 on our rankings is the Tri-State Spartans, who are currently sitting at 1-5. They're well eliminated from contention in the A bracket. It's a disappointment for them because they did show some flashes of potential this season. They had a couple games where they could have won if they just kicked the damn ball.
Kick the damn ball. I mean, onside or field goals or anything.
You got to.
They just.
They didn't. There was a chance in the end. They were close against Broad Axe. They were close against X-Dole. They were close against Graham. But they just finished games.
Yeah, they couldn't finish games, and that could be the rotating door players also. I mean, Yeah, they're dressing 18 to 20, but is it the same 18 and 20 every week? I feel like they always have new secondary, new people here, new people there. And that's tough to do in your first year, especially for the quarterback, trying to get used to playing with 15 different guys that are just rotating in at receiver and stuff like that. So that's pretty tough.
Yeah, and I do think, though, when they put the final pieces together, they could be a big contender in that B bracket. They have the potential. This is not exactly and the Spartans under Don Brown, they went to the finals in 3 straight B brackets in Washington County. That was 3 straight times they got there. I feel like Don can actually get a chance to have them run the table once they get to the B because he's shown capable of getting them to the finals before. They just have not been able to finish, just like in the 2 B bracket finals against Ruckus in the fall of 16 or Top Gun in the spring of 17. Just unable to finish those games.
Yeah, but I mean they got a whole new crew of people this time now, though.
But still, the same problem rears its head.
Right. So is that coaching? Is that what you're saying?
It just seems like something I noticed with Don Brown teams is that they don't finish games, but they'll always play up.
Okay.
But then get over that learning curve of finishing games. They can
realistically
be.
Right. Yeah, because I thought when I watched them play Broadax, I really thought they could have been that team that got the last seed in the A bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how good they played Broadax that day. But like you said, after you mess up at the end of games, you get a couple bad losses. They went downhill from there, and they haven't looked the same since the first couple weeks.
Big facts. They really haven't, and I feel like right now they should focus on. They're going to be able to focus on B.
Yeah.
But they just got to learn to finish games, and they got to also learn game time situations, like when to throw the ball short, when to throw it deep. Chill.
Yeah, when to manage, when not to take sacks, when to punt, when to kick. I mean, that's all the stuff you take for granted during a football game. But if you mess them up, it can really come back to bite you.
I think so. Yeah, big facts. As we move along to number 7 in the power rankings, a team that has a shot of still getting to the A bracket. Beachley said that they're gunning for the A. They don't care about B. They want A. It's the Brunswick Railroaders, 1-3 right now. However, 2 games this weekend might take them to B. We'll see how it goes. Big weekend coming up for Brunswick. But right now, this Railroaders team is playing the best it's ever played. We can't argue that.
Yeah.
The defense is solid. The offensive unit is starting to move the ball a lot better than ever. Right now, in terms of scoring offense, they're actually in double digits. I won't say what it is yet, but they're in double digits, and I haven't seen them in double digits ever. And that's
Yeah, like I said, I mean they're moving the ball, they're power running, they're getting in field goal range. They was kicking field goals. I don't know what happened last week, but they was kicking field goals. The quarterback makes some plays and with his arms and his legs.
Yeah.
He had a real bonehead play that cost him. Basically cost him the game last week.
That play, that was bad. Where Ian spiked the ball after being sacked on that play, and I just thought to myself, why do you spike it there? You just can't. You can't get that emotional.
Yeah.
I get it. You get upset in games sometimes, but you can't let your emotions get the best of you to the point where you cost your team the game by spiking the ball 30 yards down the field and killing the last 10 seconds of the game.
They started to play, I think, with 22 seconds, maybe something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
He takes a sack and then spikes the ball, just throws it, and I think it went clear to the sideline.
Yep.
While the clock's running.
Yep.
He could have just held onto the ball, had everybody come back, they clocked it, and then gave them a chance with 3-4 seconds left from the 40-yard line, even if you just threw it up to the end zone. You never know what can happen. Pass interference, defensive holding. You could maybe you throw a short route and they hold him. They grab him by his jersey or something, and you get the yardage and a free play. So, I mean, he really cost them at the end of that game. You just can't lose your head like that.
Yeah, you got to give your team a chance to win at the end.
Yep. So, is that going to be a carryover for the quarter for Ian? How's he going to respond from that? If something bad happens, is he always going to get that flustered and take his mind out of the game moving forward? Because all these games are big for them now.
Yeah, they're
They
in crucial territory.
so yeah. So, hopefully the pressure don't hit him too much, but they're in must-win situations now.
Big fact.
But I like their team. I like their team. They stick together. They play hard. They're big and they're physical. They seem to pull flags really well. So I feel like if you beat them, they're always going to stay in all the games because of how they play clock management and pull flags. So it's a big improvement for that team. I'm proud of them guys.
Same. Moving on to number 6 is the program 2-4. As we mentioned, 1 game away from elimination.
1 game away. They look better numbers wise. Their O-line looks a little better. Their defense hasn't looked as good. That's what surprised me.
Yeah.
Is their defense used to hold teams, under 10, 12 points to where they always had a chance at the end of the game. They could always stay in the game. They could always rely on their defense, even when their offense don't move the ball. But now they're kind of they're. I bet if you look at their rankings, they're probably right in the same spot we ranked them. If you look at their offense and defensive rankings, they're probably exactly where we put them in the power rankings.
Yeah.
I mean, they just are who they are right now.
And
They're looking like a B bracket team.
especially with the way the offense is actually underperforming.
Right. Yeah.
That's something we'll get into when we get to the scoring offense, defense, and margin. We're going to put
All right.
in the chat. Give the chat time to look at it, and we'll look at it after the power rank.
Yeah.
But right now, the program on the verge of elimination. Don't really know if they're going to make a. They have Ruckus still. They have Red Knights still. They could beat the Knights.
Yeah, they could beat the Knights. Ruckus is going to be a tough matchup for them, but a game they could win.
And that's a rivalry game. Anything can happen.
Right. Yeah, that's a game they could win. But is those the only 2 games they got left?
That's all they got.
Oh, so they're already in the B bracket then, right? I mean, they can't get above 500.
They'll be at 500. If they could finish at 500 and be that first ranked team at 500 at 5th, they can get in still.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Well, then that means 6 teams will get in the A bracket then if that happens, because I believe Ruckus is going to be in the A bracket, right?
Ruckus has not clinched yet.
Oh, they haven't clinched? Okay.
No, they have not.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's one thing. Ruckus has not clinched. They still can be eliminated too.
right.
A team that's a team that has clinched, however, and yet is sitting low in the power rankings is Broad Axe at number 5.
Yeah. They man, I don't know what's going on with them. They started off the year really hot, scoring 20-some points a game. And now that teams are stuffing that run, and if they stop the players inside the hash marks, meaning the tight end, the running back, and the quarterback from running, they're not really doing much outside. They're not really spreading the field and stuff like that. I mean, they're pretty basic. Power run here, power run there, couple screens, and every once in a while they'll just, he'll take a shot down the sideline. But they're not too it's not too hard to scout what they're doing on offense right now.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of teams are starting to catch up with that. We saw how Railroaders played them. We saw how Ruckus played them.
Yeah.
They did have an 80-yard it was more like 65 yards, Tivis. It wasn't 80. It was 65. They had a 65-yard touchdown run, but that was the only play they had that really amounted to much in that game later on. Like after the first drive, Brunswick held their own.
Yeah. I mean, all right, let's go to the Broad Axe point of view at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Their ball on their own 35 with 30-some seconds left. They're only up 2, and they decided to go for it instead of punting. If you're playing a good team, if you're playing a team that knows how to win, they could have lost that game. You give the team the ball with 20-some seconds at their own 35.
Yeah.
They do a comeback out of bounds, kick a field goal, you lose that game. So I was really surprised that they went for it in that instance right there. Really shocked me.
Yeah. And it almost backfired in a big way.
Yeah. But Rittenhour does what he does. He came in, got the sack, ended the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Broadax is relying on that guy a lot on defense right now. I mean, if he's not getting there, no one's getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, they have it's crazy to me right now what that guy's doing, taking on triple teams, double teams every play, and still getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, he's playing some of his best ball this year, despite the fact that Broadax's defensive line has not played up to its biggest strengths.
Yeah, he's definitely – I hate to say it's the best he's played because he's been good every year, but you're probably right. It probably is his best because, like I said, he is – right now he's taking on double teams, then hitting a running back, sometimes getting blocked by 3 people. I mean, Broadax got to give that guy some help up there.
I agree. They need some more rushers. I mean, I've seen Tivis rush out there. He does really well,
Yeah.
too. But
I think he was in the stack book. He was in the stat book. I thought he had a sack or 2 last week.
I believe he did. You have the stat book on you, right?
No, I have. I've been doing some of them here or there. Right now it's busy time for me at work, so I've been getting to them. I'm hoping to have them before the end of the season, all called up.
Gotcha.
So I've been doing some here or there, but I haven't totaled anything and shit like that.
All right, moving on now to the number 4 team. It's Ruckus 3-3. They were off last week. Not much to really say on Ruckus other than they looked good in that Broadax game, but that could be one and done, though. Who knows? Like, that could be a one-off thing. Broadax did exploited in that game, and their weaknesses were out there to see.
Right.
Maybe Ruckus was a bad matchup. We'll find out, though. They have 2 games left. They haven't got to A bracket yet, but it could still be a B team. They still got to program a rivalry game. They still have to play the Railroaders, too, who's going to be fighting for that last spot.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is 2 good matchups. I mean, I think realistically, though, I think TJ back there running around making plays, Railroaders going to have a hard time beating them, and Program's going to have a hard time beating them. So I'm pretty sure they're going to get in the A bracket. I mean, TJ buys a lot of time, and you got Deaney out there. I think Ruckus will make it in the A.
I think so, too. But you never know, especially with the way a lot of these teams come out and play. This is a much more competitive league than I believe we've had in recent years.
Definitely.
Very competitive league. But we'll see Ruckus's fate as they're still not back yet. We still got another couple of weeks before we get Ruckus.
Yeah. Oh, really? They got a couple weeks off?
They're off this week, and they'll be back next week.
Okay. I mean, and they missed last week. So you're right. There's a 3-week layoff after a big win. New quarterback. You're right, man. That does make it tough, having a 3-week layoff after playing your best football of the season, then taking a break at the worst moment, and then, like you said, coming back against a rivalry team and a tough Railroaders team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll get one game. They'll at least get one of those to get into the A bracket. So I believe they'll be an A.
We'll see. They have a shot, but that layoff can really hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on now to number 3 is a team that I feel like, Chris, suffers from multiple personality disorders sometimes. You never know what kind of adrenaline rush we're going to get from week to week. I've seen the Brandon Tyler ADR. I've seen the Jacob Mitchell ADR. I've seen the Chris Boone ADR. I've seen the bad Jacob Mitchell ADR.
Yeah. I mean, that's right now we're a rotating door on the team, man. I mean, anybody can show up any week. We've had we've had a lot of people show up, but just none of them at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, the last 2 games, we've played with 12 people on the last 2 games, so and pretty much it damn near seemed like it was a different 12 almost. So, we've had half the team show up one week, then half the team to show up the next week. So, really, we're just trying to get through, get to the playoffs.
And
We just got to win,
you guys
we just got to win
are
a couple
clinched
more to
again.
get in A.
The A spot is clinched at the moment. So you're
Okay.
looking good on that front.
Well, yeah, that's good because we don't even, like I said, you never know who we're going to have from here on out. So if we've already clinched, I mean, to us, that's really all that matters. I would like to play a little bit more towards the end of the season just because I've missed so many games. Like I said, I've been missing a bunch of wide open receivers and shit like that. So I need to get better, and hopefully I can get me a couple more games in.
I think in spite of that, the best ADR team, Boone, is the one that you're starting quarterback for. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nothing against what
Yeah.
Jacob Mitchell has done. Jacob Mitchell has come in there and won some games for ADR.
Right.
But he did look sloppy against Railroaders. He threw,
Right.
he threw about 3 or 4 interceptions in that game and let his motion get the best of him in the end. And what is the only ADR shutout loss?
That's hard for me to hear. That's hard for me to hear, man. That sucks. But, well, I think they're just more comfortable. A lot of the guys are more comfortable with me back there. I mean, Jacob's played with a lot of these guys, but he hasn't thrown with a lot of these guys in a long time either. To where I'm just missing them here or there, but our rhythm is pretty much together. I know when they're going to break and when they're not. I know when I need to get the ball out to each receiver and shit like that. So, it's just a comfort zone. Those guys feel more comfortable with me back there just because I've been playing with them the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So,
And I just
defensively, we're fine. I mean,
yeah, defense. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the defense in a second when we get to those
Yeah.
stats.
all right.
Coming in at number 2 right now is the Warriors. They were off this week. They're off again next week. They'll be back at 26. But again, 3-week layoff.
3-week layoff. Same situation as Ruckus, right? New quarterback comes in. They're playing great. He's just trying to get the feel for all of them, and then they have a 3-week layoff.
Yeah.
Just when you think things are going good, then, you got a break. So that's tough, but they're talented over there. I mean, they have so much talent over there right now. They got good O-line, good receivers, quarterback Foster's playing great back there. Just starting out, playing his first couple games at quarterback, he's played really well. The defense is lights out. So I don't think a layoff will hurt them much. Maybe their offense just a little bit.
We'll see how they come out when they play Broad Axe on the 26th.
Okay.
That's going to be a big game.
Yeah, that's a huge game.
And coming in at number 1 now is a team that I feel like played their best game this weekend. X-Dogs, as they defeated the program 24-14. It was their most complete game. They scored well on offense. They shut down on defense. A good performance overall by the Dogs. 6-0 on the year. They're looking to end this decade the same way they started it. Champions.
Champions. Well, I hope not.
Wire to wire. It's been a long time. 2011 was the last time they won it all.
Wow, it's been that long.
8 years.
Shit. Damn. That was way before half the league came into the league, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how many people was, off the top of your head, how many people are in the league now that was in the league when he won his last championship? Under 10? 10 and under? What's over under? 10?
I'd say around maybe 20. I think it's about 20 or 30 still in some capacity.
Really?
Or another. I feel like we still got a good amount of those guys. Oh, yeah, I think the X-Dogs, the majority of their core were around back then.
Okay. I got you.
Like,
And probably a couple of the referees, probably, maybe.
couple of
Players-wise, couple Broadax, couple
Sean Moe played in
X-Dogs.
2011.
Okay. All right. So over under 20. We need to find that out. We need to check that out.
How many guys were here at the start of the decade? That's going to finish.
Yep.
I like that. We're gonna do
Yep.
a poll and we're gonna do a poll and blunt talk later on.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do that. I'd like to know the answer to that.
Because those guys deserve a
But-
lot of recognition because they've been around the longest. They've seen the league grow from what it was back then to what it is now.
Right. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, as of right now, X Dogs, they're the best team.
Big
They are
time.
the best team in the league. There's no doubt about it. You know, they're the best team. The only thing that is going to hurt them, that could hurt them, is drop passes. Right now, I mean, their D line's good. Their secondary pulls flags. Their O line's monster. Matty Ice does what he does. They got a couple receivers that are good, but every once in a while, they just have that huge drop pass.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but overall, I mean, they're the best team in the league. There's no question.
No, I agree. Let's take a look and see how the stats.
All right.
I've been holding it the whole time mostly because like it stood at first and then it just started sliding, and it's
Okay.
given up on trying it. So sorry for that pain in the ass visual you all had to watch for the last X amount of time we've been doing this. I'm quickly posting in the chat like what the stats are. Here we go.
Okay.
This is going to be scoring offense, scoring defense, and point differential. Boom. Just got it posted. It's going to come up.
Nice.
It's going to be massive. If it's loading. I don't know if it came up on the screen yet or not, but I just put it in on the desktop page.
Yeah, I got my screen things cut off. I mean, I looked at it earlier with you when you sent it to me, so I already looked through it.
Yeah. So what do you
Let
think?
some of them
looking
guys
at it?
look at
What are
it.
some of the things that stand out to you, Boone?
I believe. Tell me the top 5 offenses.
Top 5 offenses. All right, going back over that real quickly. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Bruckus. 17 points per game they're averaging. 17.167 to be exact.
All right.
Number 4, Broadax. 17.83 points per game. And this is tight. This is very close. Nobody is averaging, Chris, more than 3 touchdowns a game. Everybody's averaging under 3 a game right now.
That's terrible.
Number 2 is the X-Dogs. 19.5 points per game. Oh, I skipped number 3 because Stunner, ADR at 19 points per game.
That's. I don't even like to hear that. I mean, my lowest average was 29 my first year, and everything else has been over 30 my next 3 years. So just hearing that makes me sick.
I a bit because your offense has been one of the most dynamic things in the Washington County High Football League that we see. They were averaging over 30 points per game for the longest.
Yeah.
But they're averaging only 19 this year, and it just blows my mind.
Yeah, three seasons in a row over 30. So to hear it at 19, I hate that.
As mentioned, number 2 is the X-Dogs, 19.5 points per game.
Yep.
And number 1, the worst defense, the worst offense in the league, so we so 40 or 19.
Yep. Damn. Well, just think about this. The top 5 offensive teams. So I can't hear you real good. But the top 5 offensive teams are the 5 teams that we believe are going to make the A bracket playoffs. So what's that tell you? You got to be able to score points when it counts. Yep.
This is a record-setting season. Program had 9.8.
9.8. Shit.
It's a drop off.
Yeah. Big time.
An average of less than a touchdown a game.
See, I'm having a hard time hearing you. I got a big storm coming through up at where I live at right now.
Are you having service problems, Boone?
I was. I'm good right now. Yeah, I got a hell of a windstorm coming through my the county that I live in right now, and my service went out there for a couple seconds.
That's a little
But
weird.
I'm
Other
back
people
now.
can't hear me either. Can you hear me now? If not, I'll reset.
Yep.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right.
I'm good.
Chad, are you good? We'll just keep going. But like I was saying, the bottom offenses in the league, program number 8, 9 points per game. Red Knights number 9, 5 points per game.
Yeah.
Just not going to equal to success if you can't score the ball.
I mean, if
But
you
we've
can't
seen
hit
a
double
total
figures,
drop off this year too from offenses. Like nobody is
Right.
averaging 20 points per game.
right? Yeah. Normally there's 1 or 2, 3 teams that are at 20, but like I said, another thing is it's fall. How many teams have played at full strength? I mean, I feel like every team every week is having a hard time fielding numbers right now. So
I think so too.
that's a
Everybody's
lot to
lost
do with it
perspective from
too.
week to week.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, that has a lot to do with it right now, because it wasn't like that in the spring when all the teams had all their people and everybody was showing up. But like I said, fall, school, kids, family, a lot of shit going on now. I feel like every week teams are shorthanded. So it's kind of hard to put up numbers if you're playing with 12 every week.
Big facts. I agree with that. Any thoughts on the scoring defenses? The one thing that stood out to me, number 1, ADR, 6.83 points per game.
Yeah, I mean our defense is really good. I mean they're really good. We have the occasional play where the DBs ain't paying attention, or a damn punt return gets returned and shit like that, where guys are just lackluster sometimes, and that's the only thing on defense we gotta focus in on is make sure you're playing all 60 minutes and every play hard, because I feel like the only time our defense gives up something is when we either give up a penalty or guys ain't paying attention. But I mean, to give up 6, what'd you say, 6?
6 points per game.
6 points per game, and how many of those points that have went against us have been a punt return or
Pick 6.
so at 3 pick sixes?
Yeah.
So we had 2 against the Warriors, then Jacob threw 1 against Brunswick, and then a punt return.
Yep.
So if you was to take those 24 points off, our defense would probably be averaging 3 points a game.
And it's been one of the things about it. ADR has actually been consistent. And that's the one thing I want to bring up is ADR has the biggest point differential of any team in this league. Despite having a 4-2 record, they lead in point differential. They're losing their games by 13 points per game.
Right. Well, like I said, I think nobody's seen the ADR hasn't played with their ADR playoff roster yet.
You're right.
We haven't played one game with our actual roster. So,
and that's the one thing we're wondering is, when do we see the full horde? Because you got to remind me of the movie Split. Have you ever seen that movie, Split?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are the main character in Split. You got so many different personalities, but when the horde comes out, that's when all hell breaks loose.
Right. I mean, Mouse has, played in a couple games. Frank has played in a couple games. Mayo's played in a couple games. Sean's been missing a couple because of his shoulder. Stuff like that. Dom has only played like 1 or 2 games. So eventually, when we have to have everybody there, everybody will be there. I mean, right now, fall is a tough time for some of our players because they play a bunch of different leagues. So, that makes it tough sometimes. But we'll have everybody there for playoffs.
I believe you, and I feel like that's going to be the one thing to watch out for is what ADR will look like starting next weekend.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Starting this weekend, actually, as we get ready to do predictions.
All right.
Starting out, Boone, with the 10:30 a.m. game. Sorry, I'm so used to these old 9 a.m. kickoffs. It'll be X-Dogs and ADR in a game where, well, I know you're not going to be there.
Well, we're actually in the works. I tried hitting Andy up earlier. I've already talked to Matt. There is a chance that we can reschedule this game. So we're working on that and hope to know everything on that by tomorrow. I've done reached out to Andy. Haven't heard back from him yet, but I did talk to Matty Ice, and he's willing to move the game if we can accommodate them to where it don't mess them up too much. So we've got a couple time slots we can choose from. I just gotta talk to the rest of the league, see if they're willing to do that. And stuff like that. So we'll find out about that. If not, if we can't get it moved, X-Dogs are going to be missing some people. ADR will be missing some people. So I'm sure both teams might be able to field a team, but I have no clue what that game would even look like if we can't get this rescheduled.
Yeah, that is going to be the one thing I'm going to wonder. That's what makes it hard to predict this game. Do you agree, Ross?
Yep.
I'm
rooting for ADR.
Are you rooting for ADR? Okay. But do you think ADR will win? And which ADR team do you think is going to show up? I won't ask you, because I know you think ADR is going to win.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope they will win, but if we got to show up with 9, I mean, it's going to be hard. And then me not know the 9. What if we show up with 9 and we don't even have Jacob? So,
I mean, I've seen Dame play quarterback before.
Dame's not going to be there either.
What's in the talks?
There's talking about switching the game to another day.
Another day.
Yes, but if it doesn't happen, Boone has no idea what ADR team will see. I don't either. Maybe a fifth personality will come out during that game.
I don't know. I mean, we got some guys that will be there to play, but like I said, I have no clue what we'd actually look like, and I mean, Dame won't be there, CJ won't be there, I won't be there, so. Oh man, I don't know. We're working to get this game moved. So right now we can just say incomplete on this game. We can just
incomplete.
Yeah, incomplete right now.
I think that's fair because I have no idea what to expect. So
I mean, think about it for the X-Dogs spot.
Okay,
Jutt's out, Kinsler's out, Brady's out, Chili's out.
Yeah, but they got Matty Ice though.
Yeah, they got their leader still, right?
Most. Sorry, I was trying to adjust again. I'm going to edit the video out of this later.
Yeah.
Because it's been a bad one. But, no, the X-Dogs will definitely compete irregardless, I feel like.
They have the advantage.
They have the advantage. If the ADR team shows up,
right.
If Brandon Heiler shows up and it's that team, I don't see a victory. Yeah. No offense, but I just don't see a victory.
Right. Even if X-Dogs don't have no D-line? Who's going to rush? I wasn't
impressed by what I saw from Heiler in the first game when he had time. He had one good pass, and that was it to me. And that was
all right. So think about this: the O-line and D-line we seen at the end of the game versus program is who they would have out there versus ADR on Saturday.
There's a shot. It also depends on if I'd say Jacob Mitchell plays a good game or a bad game. He can't make the mistakes against Brunswick.
Right.
And he's capable of winning. I'm not going to downplay that. I feel like that team could beat X-Dogs.
Right.
It just all varies. Like you got to spin the wheel and hope
Right.
whatever ADR team you get's the one that can beat them. I would.
Yeah,
I love
I
to
mean,
see
like I said,
rescheduled, to be honest. I don't. I'd love to see it rescheduled because I won't be able to see it this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I hope, it should be one of the best games of the season. So I'm hoping we can get something worked out because it would just suck for everybody if that game didn't get played at full strength.
I agree.
Both teams.
I fully agree.
So
So we're going to move on from that one. So we're going to focus on the Railroaders Challenge this weekend. Starting out with the Red Knights at 12 p.m., a team they've never beaten, but a team they have a shot at beating this time around, I'd say. Their best shot at beating the Red Knights.
they should beat the Red Knights.
Do you feel like the Railroaders have this one, Chris?
I ain't gonna say they definitely have it, but if they show up with the 20, 22 plus guys that they've been showing up with, they should win this game. They're just too strong up front on O and D line. They got just enough skill players to get them up and down the field. I don't see the Red Knights being able to stop their power run with Ian just straight up the middle. I mean, he could probably do that every play.
But
He should be able to at least get them
like
down
he
in the
missed
red zone
couple
for a field
guys,
goal.
Actually, Boone.
Okay, well that's different than
I'm
if
hearing
they're
a few
missing
of these
guys.
might be Raiders this Saturday.
Yeah. What time do the Raiders play though?
3:30 and 4:45. But the question is, can you do a doubleheader in Hagerstown then try to get to York before 3:30? I don't think
Maybe they don't. But maybe they don't come to the 3:30 game for the Raiders and just the 4 o'clock game and play
That's
with
a
their main
possibility
team.
too.
I feel like those Brunswick guys stick together. I'd say they're going to play their games first and then come up.
I think that's a better possibility, and I honestly feel like they should have this game. Like this, it's hard to tell what the Red Knights will
Yeah.
have on the field.
Right. They should just be able to power run Ian up the middle at least every drive, get in field goal range. Hell, even if they win 9-6, and Andy scores 1 touchdown, I feel like they should be able to drive the ball and get 3 field goals in the red zone at worst case scenario. I mean, I think they should win this game at least. I'll just say 13-6.
I like that score too. That's reasonable. I think Brunswick scores enough. They overpower the Red Knights, and they get
Yep.
their first win to stay alive in that contention. Ross, what do you think?
Yep.
Brunswick.
Brunswick? All right, so Brunswick it is. All right, we're moving on to their last game of the day. The second part of the Railroad Challenge is they play the Spartans in the who's going to wear maroon and who's not going to wear maroon challenge. Same
Wow.
colors,
Same
same amount of wins,
same jersey. Wow.
and a lot of
What,
different players.
Yeah. So, what? I'm trying to think. What are the
handle a
Spartans
doubleheader?
bringing? They should be able to. I mean, they should be able to. They got the numbers.
That's something I don't know. I think the Spartans are going to come in fresh in that one. I think they're going to come in a little bit more motivated. They got to snap that losing streak.
Those guys went and practiced. They had a long practice last week, working on their issues. You know what I mean? Working on some of those game management things.
And I feel like they have enough athletes that they can exploit that Brunswick secondary.
I think so.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah. And I feel like Brunswick, I don't know if they have the stamina to play those doubleheaders. Some of those guys also got a semi-pro game that night, too.
Yeah. Are they going to be leaving early?
It's a big day
Yeah.
for the Railroaders.
You're right.
This is also elimination. They could be eliminated by the end of this weekend, or we could be sitting here talking next weekend about how Brunswick persevered
Yeah.
and did what they did this weekend by winning.
Right. Well, so what we need to know is how many of the Spartans players are playing in York and missing that game.
I know that Sean Taylor is on Renegades.
Okay. Does he take anybody with him? What about all those other Baltimore guys? Are they playing on any of those other teams and are traveling with them or what?
That I'm not 100% on, but we'll see.
I mean, it's a good chance, good possibility.
Yeah, a lot of things going on this weekend in flag football.
Right.
A lot of the state
So-
too.
I think I'm gonna go with shit. I think Spartans win 18-12.
18-12.
Yep.
Ross, what do you think?
I feel like Thad and KP and them, they're gonna they've been practicing, working things out, and I think their skilled guys can get a hold of the Brunswick secondary.
Yeah, I think they can exploit it, and I feel like they can wear them down enough that they can win that game.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Spartan. Brunswick, really? Yeah.
Ross said Brunswick.
So Ross has Brunswick sweeping this weekend.
Ask him what the score is.
I don't do scores.
No scores.
I don't do scores.
I'm gonna go with 20-12.
20-12. There you go.
Spartan with a
20-12.
few 2-point conversions. Maybe late in the game, the Brunswick tries to go for one. They don't get it. We'll see. I think 2012,
Yeah.
20, even 2014 is reasonable. I can totally see that playing out in this game.
Yeah. I think so. Like I said, I think if they practiced and worked on some of their issues, and KP can get the ball out quicker and not take sacks, there's plays that they can make in the secondary with the speed that Spartans have. I think Brunswick's going to have a hard time guarding all their speed. So,
I think so.
yep, I'm with you.
So we got Spartans, Brunswick, and we'll see about ADRX dogs.
Yeah, we're working on that.
So no live this weekend. I will not be in Hagerstown. Instead, I'll be in York, Pennsylvania, where in roughly the next 20, 30 minutes, we'll be talking about that tournament. But good luck to all the
Nice.
teams in county this weekend. We'll be back on Blunt Talk next Wednesday. Oh, wait, sorry, Tuesday night
Yep.
to discuss what happened this weekend in Washington County flag football. Till then,
Everybody,
with
Yep.
Chris Boone,
everybody going to York, safe travels.
safe travels. So
Yep.
Chris Boone and Ross Collins, I'm Joey Blaze. See you in
We're
a little
out.
bit, actually.